Have you ever heard of the magic number 150? This is a number that British anthropologist Robin Dunbar came up with. And it basically alludes to the possibility that any one person can only have 150 connections at one time. 150 interpersonal relationships, right? Relationships with friends, family, etc. 150? Are you joking? I don't know how to juggle 10 people in my life. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. I feel like I'm out of focus. And welcome back to the B community. On this channel, we talk about spirituality, self-development, law of attraction, and so much more. Lately, we've been talking about aliens a lot, so I really have been delivering on that front. We'll get into K-dramas and K-pop one day, but today I want to talk about being an empath, because I am an empath. The majority of the people who watch my videos tend to be empaths. We tend to attract each other because we kind of get each other. We know how one another has to live and survive. So today's video is about being an empath because, you know, I've been on this planet 28 years this time around, right? I've been here many times before, and I do believe that I'm kind of starting to get the hang of it and kind of starting to understand myself as an empath enough to know how to navigate it as an empath, as a highly sensitive person. I don't know if empath and highly sensitive person are interchangeable, but I do know that all empaths are going to be highly sensitive people. There are so many ways to realize whether you're an empath or not, but highly sensitive person, it's something that you can actually take a test online. You can get a number score that will tell you how sensitive you are, basically, and I'm pretty freaking sensitive, so I scored pretty high on that. And I'm not saying like I'm an empath, like I'm this all loving, unconditionally loving being and I just understand everybody so well, like Shane Dawson kind of I'm an empath kind of thing, right? Being an empath, it's a blessing for sure, but it's such a curse at times. And the way that it's manifested as a curse in my life is it's made me having a lot of relationships and a lot of friendships pretty difficult. I'm tired all the time and I soak up everybody's energy. And that's the thing about being an empath. We're like a sponge. We can go into a room and if one person is having a bad day, we feel everything. So I'm kind of learning how to navigate that, especially more lately. And there are certain things that I've been doing lately that I wanted to share with you. I was literally at the door and I was just like, you know what? I feel like somebody needs this message. One of my empath family members out there is struggling right now and they need this message. So there are a few things that are really important. And one thing that I've just recently started doing that has changed my life completely, because I think that one of our issues as empaths is that we aren't the best at prioritizing things because life is just always coming at us from all directions. So prioritizing in every area of my life has been crucial for me lately and has helped me also create some energetic boundaries. So speaking of energetic boundaries, as an empath, you have to keep your energetic field clear. That means meditation is so important for you. I know that not all of us like to meditate. If you're not somebody who likes to just watch their breath calmly and meditate and clear their mind, I highly recommend throwing on a guided meditation and lying there with your eyes closed, covering your eyes, full darkness, and just lying down and letting your body relax, letting your parasympathetic nervous system take over, because that is so crucial for somebody who feels everything. Because we feel everything and we live in this modern world where we're constantly taking in stimulus, right? We're constantly scrolling and swiping and we're getting all this information in and we're connecting to all these people through our social media. We can be connected to thousands and thousands of people and receive thousands and thousands of messages every single day just on social media alone. Forget the outside world. So as empaths, it's very, very important for us to take a beat, to calm down, to lay down, to meditate, to clear the mind, clear the soul. Doing anything that's energetically cleansing you and hygiene is really good for you. If you tend to be an empath, like in the beginning of my spiritual journey, I felt so exhausted after leaving the house every single time that there was some times that I didn't want to leave the house. I still have like a social event that I'll have to go to or something that I have to be at, and I'm just like, I'm going to be absorbing everybody's energy. This is going to be so difficult. Something that I learned that I had to do that was very, very important for me is an energy protecting meditation. I believe I have one on the channel. If I don't have one, please let me know and I'll make one for you. But basically, before you go out, what I'm about to do right after I record this for you guys, is you sit down and you imagine a pink protective layer of energy around you, hugging you. And this layer comes with you wherever you go, and everybody else's emotions bounces off of it. So you don't absorb everything, you don't soak everything up. And instead, this layer of pink energy makes you magnetic, makes you attractive, makes you glow, but it also protects you and it amplifies your own energy. So it makes these social events and going out into the world a lot easier for me. The intention has to be there that you're sitting down and you're protecting yourself. You're doing something to protect yourself, okay? So make sure that you're doing that. So far we talked about meditation for processing. It's very, very important. Social media, I would, as an empath and as a highly sensitive person, you need to be on social media even less than the average person. And the average person should be on social media less. So I'm telling you, if you're highly sensitive, you have to take this as a special case, and you've got to set timers for yourself. You've got to get off. You've got to delete the app. You've got to do things that are less stimulating. You have to do things that are less stimulating, because these things, these social media apps, they suck your soul out. They suck your energy out. So I highly recommend doing that. Now, the new thing that I recently did, so like I was telling you in the beginning of this video, the theory of Dunbar's number is that you can have 150 connections at one time. One of the things that I struggled with a lot as an empath, and especially when my third eye opened, my spiritual awakening deepened, is I couldn't keep up with relationships anymore. My family was always number one. It's always been my priority, and I always made sure that I was prioritizing my family and seeing my family, checking in with my family. I call my grandparents almost every day. But my other relationships really suffered. And unless my friends forced me to see them or forced me to talk to them, called me all the time, unless guys that wanted to date me made it happen, I wouldn't see people. I wouldn't reach out to people. I wouldn't talk to people. Okay. And that's because I didn't have energy and I didn't know where to direct my energy at first. So I came up with this method, and this is what I've done, and it's changed everything for me. It's prioritizing your relationships. Okay. So you don't have to have 150 connections, but think about all the relationships that are important to you and create a list of primary relationships, secondary relationships, and tertiary relationships, right? So the ones that are the most important to you. Up there, you might have your family members. That, for me, my family members aren't in there. For you, they might not be primary, and that's okay too. We all have different priorities, right? But listing the people that are the most important to you, that it's like, I can't function if these people weren't in my life. I don't want to think about life without them. Okay. And then the second tier, it's like people that you really love and you care about, but it's like, I hope that this doesn't sound demeaning in any way, but we have people who are just like a little bit more important to us in our lives than that. And then you just make these 3 tiers. I was able to make these 3 tiers with about 20 people. Now, I was able to see how I can direct my energy in the best way to keep up with these connections that are really important to me. And what I do now is the 7 or 8 people who are on my primary, I think maybe I have a little bit more than that because my grandparents are on there too, and so those people, I make sure that I connect with them in a small way every single day, because that fills me up as a person who sometimes feels guilt for not showing up for people in their lives. You might resonate with that. That kind of fills that need for connection for me. So I have these primary people. And then whenever I have a little bit of surplus of energy, I can reach out to my secondary people. I can connect with them once a week, maybe, right? Once in a while. And then the third people, it's like, okay, so I've connected with all these people and I still have a little bit more energy. I want to socialize. I want to connect with somebody else that I haven't talked to in a while. Then you have that third tier. And I feel like just seeing this put out on my paper and realizing what's important to me really made life so much easier for me, because it was like, okay, this is bite-sized, this is manageable, I can do this. Now, this is not just for relationships. As empaths, we can do this with anything in our day. If you're like me, you make long freaking to-do lists, and just looking at those to-do lists can be exhausting sometimes, especially when you're low on energy, because you have so much psychic energy and you do all these psychic things at night, right? That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So you make these primary to-do lists and then secondary and tertiary. And it's like, it's just prioritizing and knowing where to direct your energy. What do you want to do today that's going to get you where you need to go tomorrow? Like for the future, where you want to be in the future. For some people, that's going to be a list of 20 things. As an empath, you should not have a list of 20 things on your to-do list for the day. You should have 3 things. 5 things, okay? And then in order of priority, you might have ones that are a little bit lower on that list, and you get them done in order. And it's all about really prioritizing, directing your energy where it's the most beneficial for you so that you can feel accomplished, so that you can feel connected to people and be on top of those things, but also not overwhelm your nervous system, which is something that empaths really have to be aware of, because that's when we become sick. That's when we become tired and lethargic and depressed and anxious. It's when our circuitry or when our bandwidth is reached, right, and surpassed. Also, it's very important. I have to continuously bring myself back to, yes, a lot of people want to reach me. I get that. A lot of people want to reach me, but I need to prioritize my health and my mental well-being, and that's what matters first. If you don't fill up your cup, how can you show up for those primary people? How can you do those primary to-do list things? So I'll have somebody from high school reach out and they want some advice and stuff, but like I haven't even gone into my tertiary people yet, so I can't right now, and that's okay. And there's no need to feel guilty about that, because you don't owe anybody anything except for being a kind person. You shouldn't be mean to these people because they want to connect with you, which I try never to be. I just can't always reach those people. I have my list, right? And my community and making content is very, very high on my primary list. So all these other things have to go below that. This has helped me, and I just thought that I would get on here and share it with you because I think it would help you so much as well. I'm curious to know what you do as an empath to protect your energy and to live a happy and healthy life. I'll also leave that link below for the highly sensitive person quiz if you want to check that out. All empaths are going to be highly sensitive people, but not all highly sensitive people are going to be empaths. Having that empathic nature also has a lot to do with intuition, psychic energy, connection to your third eye, connection to the spirit world. I'm happy to make more empath content if there's a need for it, if there's a desire for it. I know that a lot of people in my community and my audience are going to be empaths just like me. How many times did I say empath in this video? Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me today. I love you so much. Until my next video, keep your vibrations way, way, way up. Bye.